Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video I'm very excited about. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I finally started putting together the pieces to do it. In the previous mill video, I said I was going to leave the base unmounted for an upcoming project, and a viewer guessed it. So we are adding a power feed to the mill, and I'm really excited about it. So let's jump right in. Alrighty, so I got this faceplate taken off and started taking some measurements. Alright, so here's the parts that I've collected so far. I ordered these online from China, of course, but I think it's going to work for what I want it to do. Now here's the little motor. I got to make a bracket to mount this to, of course, and then I got to make a shaft to connect from here to here, and then I'm going to add some sort of clutch assembly about right here, so I can disengage this motor and still use the hand wheel for setting up purposes. I don't want to be running the power feed like in the last video where I was trying to find the center of that hole. I don't want to be using the power feed for that. So I am going to build a clutch. I got a design in my head drawn out to where it'll work, I think. This is the little AC converter. So this converts AC power to DC power, because this is a DC motor. You can see there. I opted for the 160 RPM because I wanted it to be slow enough to really slow this thing down to get a good surface finish. I don't really know the math on how many turns. I did it roughly for a feed rate. It's not exact, but didn't take this thing apart to check the lead screw. I'm assuming it's a 2mm, and there was a lot of math involved on how many rotations of the handle equals, or the lead screw, sorry. But I won't get into that. If you want to build this, you can do it yourself. I've already done the math, and so I've got the feed rate down to about where I want it. And that being said, this is my little speed adjuster. I haven't opened it yet, but this is going to be a variable speed. I'm hoping I can run this thing way down on low, and it'll creep, maybe 10 RPMs or something, and that way I can have a real slow feed rate, and then when I just want to move the table back, I can crank it up to 160. That's kind of the idea. So I've got a cord that I've cut off that's going to go into here, and then I'm going to have a switch to power this off when it's not in use. And then I've got the reverse switch in here. So I'm going to be able to power this box here, which is going to power this, which is going to power the motor. And then I'm going to have a switch connected to this to where I can power the whole thing down. And then the clutch assembly, my idea for it is, if you can see, this is already slotted, which I didn't do that. It's already like that. So I'm going to make my shaft, and I'm going to put a pin in it to where it'll line in that hole to turn the lead screw. But then the shaft is going to have to be able to slide out enough to disengage the pin, but not disengage the shaft, because if you disengage the shaft fully, it's never going to line back up. So I want to be able to put the pin. I'm going to get under here so maybe you can see it a little bit better, like that. So you can see that shaft there. So I want the pin about halfway going through. I know this is big, but you get the idea. So when the clutch is engaged, it disengages the pin, but the shaft is still going to be on the lead screw. I hope that makes sense. As we go, I think you'll be able to see more what I mean by that. But the first thing we got to start with is the bracket. So I got to cut some aluminum. We're going to put it in the mill. We're going to face it down and get it looking good. And then we can start measuring for our final dimensions. All right, let's get us a few chunks of aluminum. Alrighty, I'm back. Man, it is cold outside. I had to go cut this outside. It's pretty cold out there. So let me show you what I've got. Alright, so cut some aluminum here. And this is kind of the plan. This is going to be bolted together like that. The motor will be bolted here. And then this is hard to do one-handed. But these are going to go like this. I thought about just doing one piece long ways like this, so it'd be more solid, but I couldn't. But with my idea with the clutch is going to go through one of these pieces. So this first one, I needed to go here like that, and then the next one is going to go on top of it like this, and then the clutch will go through it. And we may or may not need this one. I cut it just in case. It depends on how much length I need from that shaft to the motor to make the clutch work. And then I cut this piece right here oversized just because I didn't know how much I needed. I probably cut a lot off of this one because that motor doesn't need that much room. The motor is going to go like this. I thought about putting it like this, and I may still put it like that. I don't know yet. I just got to have room for my bolt holes. So, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing. First thing to do is get all this changed back out. I left one machine surface that was from the factory surface. It's not good, but it's flat, so I'm gonna use it for reference to mill. And I didn't quite cut these wide enough. I tried to cut them wider so I would have extra material. You can see my cut on that one's not straight at all. And I cut it really, really close. Actually, I may have cut it too short. Yeah, it's a little short. So by the time I mill that off, it's going to be too short. But that's fine. I'm not super worried about tolerances as long as it's sturdy and does what it's supposed to do, which is just hold the motor. The one tolerance that is going to be important is the space in the bolt holes. So I'm going to chuck this up in the mill. We're going to flatten it all out and get it to where I can measure for holes. Alrighty, so I got this piece of aluminum in here. I got the 1/2 inch end mill back in. This is the same one we used in the last video for the lathe compound. Hopefully it cuts aluminum a little bit better than it cut that steel. But we're just going to try to take off as little material as possible and to get it perfectly flat. And then we'll do the same to both sides, and then we'll start taking measurements. Alrighty, let's start cutting. I have to say, I'm really impressed with that finish. It's like a mirror. So what I'm doing is I'm milling down enough to find the low spots, and then I'm locking this in so I can't go any deeper, because I only want to go as deep as I have to get all the low spots. And once I get to that spot, I'm locking this in so I know where to go to cut to the rest of them. I want to keep them all the same if I can, but I'm only going down to get the low spots out. Alright, so I don't know if you can see that. That finish is not as good as it was before, but it's still not bad. It's good enough for me. That end mill is leaving a slight ridge on the end. I don't know if it's just not, if my work's not straight or the end mill's just not cut straight, but I mean, it's very, very slight. You can't even catch your nail on it, but you can see it. Alright, so now I'm gonna come down and do the sides. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to do the other pieces up here first, because in order to do the sides, I have to move this down. I've already got my measurement here. You can see that line I'm talking about. It was cutting a lot better the first few passes. That one was a little bit deeper, so. But you can see I made 2 passes to try to get rid of that line, and then I made another one. But, I mean, it's flat, so I'm not too worried about it. So that one right there is good. It's got a little circle in it right there. I got a nick in it right here where I hit it with the saw blade when I was cutting it. But I'm not cutting it down that small, because then there'll be all out of dimension. So I'm just gonna have to put that on the bottom side or just live with it, because I can't cut it down and I'm not scrapping this part. Tell you what, power feed would be nice to make this power feed. Alright, so what I'm doing now is the one that was a little longer, I flipped it over and I'm just going to machine the other side. And then once I get all of them about the same size, I'll come down just a hair, just enough to take it just the top edge off. And then I will machine the other side of these other 2 over here. That cut looks really good. It really likes that fine cut. That was just like 2/1000ths. That looks really good. It's shiny. Alrighty, so I'm back. I got all these machined. Got them approximately the same size. Got all the ends faced. I gotta go through here and deburr them. You can see some burrs on some of them. But they're all these are done. I just gotta go through and clean them up a little. I did get the vacuum out and clean up some of these chips, because there's chips. There still is some over here, but there was aluminum chips everywhere. So now I gotta get these cleaned up, and then I gotta start on this back one. You can see I got a lot to cut off of it. It's really misshaped, so we'll start on that one next. Alright guys, I'm back. I got all that done. Everything's squared and milled away. Now let me show you what I'm doing. Alright, so I got some Dykem and I marked all these up. I done the math. For the bolt holes here, I won't bore you with all the math, but I measured the distance and then subtracted it by the width and then divided it by half to get the center point on both sides, this way and this way. And I marked it out. I tried center punching that one. I didn't get it quite center, so instead of center punching all these, I think I'm just going to go through and try to touch it off with the center drill and see if I can get it. I think that'd be a little bit more accurate than trying to hit it with that center punch. But let's see what we can do right here. I got everything switched back out. As you can see, I got the Jacobs chuck back in it. So let me get this lined up and see what I can do. Alrighty, so I got the first two done. I started with that one, and then I went across with the y-axis here, and just went straight across and centered it. Sorry, it's not focusing. And centered it up the best I could, and done it again. That way, if it's not perfect, at least it's the same side to side, because all we done was shifted it over. And then I will do every part exactly the same in the same orientation. That way the height will always be the same, no matter if I'm not in the exact perfect center. The distance will be the same and the height will be the same. I hope that makes sense. I'm just basically just starting one and then moving over the distance I need to go without moving the x-axis. All right, well, let's go ahead and knock all 4 of these out. I'll do all this off camera because it's kind of a little time consuming and not really that interesting. I'll be back in a minute. Alrighty, guys, I'm back. So off camera, I went ahead and drilled them holes and countersunk the end and deburred everything, and I got everything test fitted here. It's a little tight. I might go in and oversize the holes a little bit because it's kind of a pain to get on. But let me show you where I'm at. This is what I've got so far. Everything's mounted. That one I'm probably going to turn around so you don't have that. That was the one low spot I couldn't get out. But so the motor's going to mount here. You can see I countersunk them holes. That one right there might need to be a little bit oversized a little bit more because it's really tight getting it in. But everything's nice and tight. It tightened up really good. So now I got to do some measuring and some math, and because the shaft's up in here, so I'm gonna have to cut a groove in the bottom of here in all these plates. I got to take them back off and cut a groove for the shaft, and then figure out where to mount the motor. I don't think I'm gonna need this much overhang because it looks like the shaft is going to be about right here, so the motor can mount right here. So this piece is a little long, but it's okay. So there it is. That's where we're at. I think it's going to go ahead and wrap this one up. This will be part 1, and I'll do part 2 of the rest of it. But I don't want to get these videos super long. I feel like this one's going to be too long as it is. So let's go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.